Hey guys, so one of the most common mistakes I see beginner e-commerce entrepreneurs making recently is that they are spending way too much money on certain areas of their business that doesn't require that much of an investment, and they're neglecting the areas that do require that monetary investment to get their businesses off the ground. So case in point, just last week I had a discussion with a client. He's new to e-commerce and he showed me his website, and he proceeded to tell me that he actually paid $1,000 through a done-for-you service to get his e-commerce website designed. When I looked at his website, it was no different from any of my websites that have paid no more than $50 to design. So I do know that quite a lot of e-commerce beginners are getting ripped off with these done-for-you services as it relates to creating your e-commerce website, and I want to save you guys some of this trouble. So what I'm going to be doing for you in this video is I'm going to be logging into my Fiverr account, and I'm going to be showing you exactly what you are likely to get when you order a Shopify e-commerce website designed on Fiverr for just $50. So this video is going to save a lot of you guys a whole lot of money that you can then invest into marketing, which is a much better investment than spending $1,000 on a done-for-you Shopify store design. So if you want to see exactly what this $50 Shopify store looks like, then please continue watching this video. Okay, so before I show you the sample website so you can have an idea of exactly what you will get when you buy your website on Fiverr, there are two very important things that I have to share with you that you must know about e-commerce and store design before you actually start spending your money on your e-commerce business. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about are the 6 key elements of a good e-commerce store. So you have to know these 6 key elements so you can know exactly what you are negotiating with your store designer. So I'm not going to be diving into too much details about these 6 key elements, but I'm going to be sharing these 6 key elements with you right now. Before I share these 6 key elements, it's very important for you to know that if you use the right designer on Fiverr, someone with experience, they will almost always ensure that your website have these 6 key elements in place. So you don't necessarily need to understand exactly the best ways to optimize these 6 key elements, but you have to be aware of them, and these will help you with your negotiations when you're trying to find the perfect seller for your store on Fiverr. Okay, so the first key element of having a good e-commerce website is having a custom domain. So a custom domain serves so many different purposes. It will help with branding and it can help with credibility. So this is non-negotiable for me. I highly recommend having a custom domain for your e-commerce business, and it will go a very far way. Getting a custom domain is super easy. You could get a custom domain from Google Domains. You could go to GoDaddy, HostGator. There are so many places that you could buy a domain name online. And if you don't know exactly what a custom domain is, it is basically a name that you choose at an extension such as .com or .net or .org, whatever. But having a custom domain is very important for your e-commerce website. The second key element of having a good e-commerce website is the layout, and is it mobile friendly. So you want to make sure that your website looks good not just on desktop but also on mobile, and it should be designed with mobile first in mind. As I mentioned earlier, if you choose the right designer on Fiverr, they will ensure that your website is mobile first and that your website have a good layout. The next key element of a good e-commerce website is the colors and the design element of that website. So you want to make sure that the colors blend well and they are easy to read, because if people go to your website and they're not able to see what you're selling easily and they're not able to read what's on your website, then it makes no sense. So design elements and colors are very important to having a good e-commerce website. The next key element of having a good e-commerce website is having the right pages in place. So there are some basic pages that every e-commerce website must have in place. For example, you have to have a privacy policy page, you have to have a shipping policy or a return policy. These are just some of the examples, but once again, choosing the right design designer on Fiverr will ensure that your website have these pages in place. The fifth key element of having a good e-commerce website is having the marketing elements in place. So there are certain marketing elements that you can add to your website to help you to market your business. So some of these would include a pop-up form, for example, your social media links, certain other information that will help you to convert visitors into paying customers. And these are very important as they can actually help you to make more sales on your website. So you want to make sure that your website have the key marketing elements in place. Once again, a good designer will always make sure that your website have these things in place. And 6, which is last but definitely not the least on this list, is the loading speed of your e-commerce website. So I've purchased an e-commerce website on Fiverr before in my earlier days, and it was extremely slow. So if your website loading speed is too slow, this will definitely impact the success rate of your e-commerce website. So you want to make sure that your website loads super fast. Okay, so that covers the first of the 2 very important things that I wanted to share with you. So the second very important thing that you must know about e-commerce and about your e-commerce website is that marketing is the most important element of having a successful e-commerce business. And the reason why this is so important is because I want you to shift your focus on marketing as opposed to your website design. So as with the example that I gave you earlier in this video, where the client actually spent $1,000 getting his e-commerce website designed, that money would be better spent on marketing. So you want to make sure that you don't waste too much money on things that don't require that much money, and that you save as much of the money as possible to invest in marketing, as without marketing, your e-commerce business will fail. Okay, so I spent the last 7 minutes sharing with you the keys to a good e-commerce website and where you should put your financial focus when you're just getting started with e-commerce. But as promised, I'm going to be sharing with you an example of what you can get when you buy a website for $50 on Fiverr. So I'm going to be doing that via screen share. So I'm going to be diving into that right now and show you step by step in my Fiverr account what you get when you buy a website for just $50. Okay guys, so as you can see right here, I'm logged into my Fiverr account, and if I go to where it says orders right here and click on that, you will get a snapshot of some of my most recent transactions on Fiverr. So I do use Fiverr quite a bit. I use Fiverr for graphic work, to design logos, to design websites, and of course to create my Shopify stores. So what I'm going to be doing right now is to select from one of my past transactions where I actually ordered a Shopify website from one of my favorite sellers on Fiverr. I've used them quite a few times, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be leaving a link in the video description that will take you to his page. So if you want to use the same designer, you can go ahead and do that. So this right here is a transaction that I want to talk to you guys about, and this is just a replica of almost all of the previous e-commerce or Shopify transactions that I've done with this particular seller. So as you can see right here, I paid $47.25 for this order, and I'm going to show you exactly what I got for that. And just a point to note, this website was actually completed in 3 days, as you can see right here on my Fiverr account. So this is the website. So I'm just going to click on this link and open in a new tab and just give you a brief overview of what was done with this particular website. So this is a travel website that was created, and I'm just going to scroll to give you an idea of the layout. And I'm doing this on desktop, but trust me, it does look good on mobile as well, and that is key as it relates to the design and the layout of your website. So what you're seeing here in the left with these pop-ups is a marketing element that was added to the website to show previous transactions, which is really good. Your designer will ensure that you have one of these if you actually want it on your website. So as I mentioned earlier, design elements such as the colors you choose is extremely important. So I'm using a white background with black font. So that is very important. It's very simple and easy to understand. As it relates to some of the pages I spoke about earlier, you can see right here we have the refund policy, privacy policy, and terms of use. So these are the basic pages that you need on your website, of course, along with your product pages and a contact page. I'm going to click on one of these products to give you an idea of what a product page actually looks like, so you can have an idea. This is what a product page looks like, and I spoke about some of the marketing elements that you can add to your website to help you to convert more visitors into buyers. This is one such marketing element right here, which is showing how many was sold in the last 24 hours. This is another marketing element right here, which is showing 98 of 100 sold, and that will increase urgency on your website. And down here you will see we have related products, which is very important for you to increase your order value. So I'm not going to be going into too much minute details about this website, but as you can see, this is a pretty good website. It loads really fast, it looks good on mobile, it has the marketing elements in place, it has a custom domain that I spoke about earlier, it has everything I mentioned that a good e-commerce website should have. And once again, this website costs just $47.25. So for you guys who are paying too much money to get your e-commerce website started, I highly recommend that you start looking at Fiverr and using Fiverr to get these type of things done. And if you know someone who is planning to start an e-commerce business, share this video with them so they can also benefit from this information and not waste too much money on the things that are not really important to the success of an e-commerce business. Instead of spending $1,000 getting a website done, save $950 of that to invest in marketing, because marketing is the most important thing to the success of your e-commerce business. Okay, so there you have it. I really do hope you found a lot of value in this video, and if you did, please let me know by dropping a like on this video. If you know someone would benefit from this information, please go right ahead and share this video with that person. I would really love to see you in my next video, so if you'd like to watch my next video and get notified when I upload, please consider subscribing. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.